I did air fresheners too.
Oh, you did? What's up? What's up, you guys? Oh, those are nice. Let me see. Do it again, Lisa. Oh, those are
The
cute.
cherry
So what
scent.
did they were they a good price?
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
cherry scent. Yep.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evening Tea, where we talk a little bit and act a fool a little bit. No, I'm just playing.
Cars a
Hi,
little bit.
everybody. We just have fun. And as you guys know, for you who have been following me, Kiki, you're gonna mount it to my other page, right? Um, for you guys that know, I started this during the pandemic because, I usually get together with my sisters to celebrate, birthdays, anniversaries, just because we want to eat, however that works out. And so we have been well, whenever I do this, it's like we're inundated with people that want to be a part of this and want us to continue. So I decided that I will continue this, and thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you're putting in the chat where you're joining us from. We would love to give you a shout out. And I always start by asking my sister friends, what are you drinking? So I will start with Miss Kiki Ramsey. What are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, I'm just drinking some water.
You doing good.
I'm doing
You
very
doing
good.
real good. You didn't tell the people you had that Coke before you got on here, did you?
That was my limit.
Calling her out. Oh my God.
Why you gotta out me out like that?
Oh my God.
Cherry Coke is all gone. I can't get another one because that was my limit. So now I'm drinking aqua.
You talking about water. Yeah, you guys make sure that you're putting in the chat where you're joining us from. We would love to give you a shout out. What's up, Lisa? What you drinking tonight?
I am drinking water that tastes like wine.
So wine.
Is it really water or is it wine?
Oh, I'm
wine.
at apple juice. Apple juice that tastes like wine.
It's wine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. If you say
Oh,
so.
the apple juice is good.
The apple juice. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah,
apple-
Tawan's like,
that
let me in.
apple
I'm sorry,
cider.
Tawan.
That
She's
hard
like, let
apple
me in.
cider.
Hey, Tawan. I'm so glad you got some power. I was like, who's this sending me a private chat? I'm so glad you got some power. All right, Miss Kim, what you drinking tonight?
Some water with some Herbalife aloe inside. I have the
Y'all
mango
are being
flavor.
so good tonight. I'm so proud of you
No, they're
guys.
making me look bad. No, I said I
Sorry.
was drinking water. You're right. No, never mind.
You already told on yourself. So there you go.
Hi, Conchetta. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us from Maryland. All right, Mr. Juan, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, actually, I'm not drinking anything, but as soon as I get off, I'm going to have a peach Bellini tea.
Oh,
It's a part of Tea Lovers Cafe, and Lisa, it has a little something in it. So,
Oh, okay.
hi.
it's a real peach.
Hi,
It's a real
Melinda.
peach
Thank you so
Bellini.
much for joining us. Where you joining us from, please? Please put in the chat where you're joining us from. Well, for me, I am drinking some Gatorade because I went to have a scan done on Wednesday of my hip, and they told me I was real dehydrated trying to get that contrast in my arm. So I'm trying to. Thank you so much for joining us, Melinda from California. So they told me I was real dehydrated, even though I drink a lot of water. I don't know
But what do you consider a lot of water?
It's enough.
That's why they told you was dehydrated because
Well,
you're supposed to be drinking. No, ma'am. Whatever your weight is, divide that in half.
Oh hell, I'll be drinking all day and peeing all
why?
day. Well, I'm not drinking no.
You ain't gonna be able to argue
ounces
with Kim
of
about
time.
it, so just let it go.
Yeah, it's half of your body weight in ounces of water. So whatever that number is, divide that in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should be
I
drinking.
know that. That's why I'm working on my water.
I'm not going to do this. Hi, Jen. Thank you so much for joining us from Chicago. I appreciate you. You guys are showing up on my YouTube channel, and I appreciate you guys. We have Chicago, California, and Maryland in the house. And again, you guys, thank you so much. And no, I am not drinking half of my weight. I'll be using the bathroom all the time and can't service my clients.
I'm working towards my half, Kim.
Very good, Lisa.
Yeah,
very good. But your body would get used to. She's
not drinking. Lisa, talking about some apple
juice.
Yeah,
I need you to worry about yourself. I need you to worry about yourself.
Don't get on here. People know you having a cocktail.
What that little girl say? Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself.
All right. So, and also, I love to tell people, God has blessed me with some amazing, smarter than myself women, and I love for them to tell you guys what they have going on, because they might be doing something that you want to support. So Kiki, tell us what you got coming up and what you got going on, please, really quick.
All righty. Well, I have a new course that's going to be coming out called Thrive, Transform Your Life and Career. And I'm so excited because I've been coaching so many women individually on career coaching and just really finding that work-life harmony. And I can't coach that many people one-on-one. So I decided to write a course that was going to allow me to coach more than one person at a time. And so I'm excited. Just be looking out, go on KikiRamsey.com. It's not there yet, but it'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So excited about that.
I am excited about that too. And as you guys kind of know, that group coaching component is what I absolutely love. I had just did a 7-day intimacy challenge, and Conchetta was part of it, and I just love that group where we get together, we hang out, we learn from each other. I just love that component of it. So congratulations on that. And if you are a woman and you're in a leadership role, check out Kiki's website, KikiRamsey.com. Hi, Latanya. How are you? From Clinton. How you doing, sweetie? Thank you so much for hopping on. Lisa, what you got going on?
So, I mean, I'm kind of I ended my show Luncheon with Lisa, and I, kind of share that with everyone at the Power Shut Up Symposium that I am launching the Power Shut Up podcast.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm going all in on the Power Shut Up, and there's so many doors opening up. So I'm just going to go all in. And thank you. I wanted to actually shout out to Juan and Gail. Thank y'all so much for not just showing up at the Power Shut Up Symposium, but I mean, y'all showed up and jumped right in. I just appreciate your words, could not really express how grateful I am to you all, because it was the first time being in person.
Yeah.
And I'm always nervous about events, but just to see, y'all come in and help me out, and, because you can't be in 15 places at one time, but I didn't even feel the pressure that I could have, because you all just, y'all was moving people like, go ahead, do this. Okay, you good, whatever. I didn't have to ask no questions. So I just thank you all, and anyone who couldn't make it that supported. I truly appreciate you all more than I could ever say. Y'all helped to make that a beautiful day.
Let me just tell you, Lisa, me and Tawan was talking about, we thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. The conversation was rich. Your panel was like that. That saxophonist tore it down, and I had to apologize to her because I ain't lying. I seen her and I thought she was gonna just do doot 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 and be done, but she tore that thing down. But I just want to tell you, I really enjoyed that. And you come to BSB and you work and you do all my social media and stuff like that. So that was nothing, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I made some really good connection. I connected with Prince Dejour. I connected with the first lady that came, said she had to be there and she didn't even like to drive. But the conversation was so rich. It really was rich. And it gave people a different perspective. So you guys really need to check out the Power of Shut Up. And the next time she does something live, really click, because it was just a no nonsense, honest conversation about a whole bunch of different topics that a lot of times we don't discuss and we don't realize, because the power of shut up is just not just telling you just shutting up. Is so much more to that. And I learned that there, even though, we won't tell the backstory, but even though, okay, go ahead, Tawan.
Well, I'm excited because for Tea Lovers Cafe on June the 10th, we are doing the tea experience. So I am doing it kind of like an open house. Okay. We have 10 new blends So I want to introduce the 10 new blends. So, I'm going to have people come out. It is a free event to just come out and taste the different blends. So we have some more cold blends. Will be a couple of warm ones, but we're going to have some mocktails, some tea mocktails.
That noise.
Yeah, we're going to so if you're in the PG County, DC, Maryland area, please definitely come out. Follow Tea Lovers Cafe. We're going to be putting things out starting tomorrow. So just come on out, and I'm excited about Tea Lovers Cafe and where we're going, and there's some other things going on, but that's all we're going to talk about now.
Okay, I just put Tea Lovers Cafes.
Look at Lisa hand. Yes, Lisa. What do you want to know about Fruity Sangria?
Will it be in the house?
Fruity Sangria will be in the house, but Lisa, some new flavors, and you might want to try.
I'll do both.
Try some of the new flavors. Mm-hmm. Some of the new blends.
Miss Kim, what you got going on? And then we get ready to spill some tea.
Spill some tea. Well, I have two challenges that are coming up. A 10-day clean eating challenge that'll start on the 3rd. And it'll be a more small, intimate group of 8 other people that will learn about nutrition facts, some recipes, talking about shakes and all the fun things. And then we have a bigger one, a 21-day one that'll probably start that following Monday. So we've got a couple of those things. And just like we have a new shake flavor that just came out. So like you, Tawan, I just did a sip and sample. And that was fun. It was a lot of fun. Had some of my clients come over and we created shake flavors recipes based on the new creamy peanut butter shake that just came out. So that was fun. And then I'm going to be doing that on a monthly basis. And I'm going to be a part of a woman empowerment personal development kind of call called Real Talk starting on the 6th at 6 p.m.
Amen. See, listen, I tell you guys, Melinda, Jen, Latanya, I tell you, I'm surrounded by some women that's smarter and doing big things. And so for me, as you guys know, I launched my Indiegogo fundraising thing, Kickstarter. We was not prepared and we didn't do the right thing by it. For my Dr. Gail on Love, Sex, and Marriage TV show. And so for you guys who are on my YouTube channel, you can definitely go click on the link if you would like to support. And also on my Facebook channels, pages, both of the links are there too. I would love your support. So that's what I have going on. I have a couple of challenges coming up. So you just need to tune into my website. I have a big 4-hour thing that I'm doing in September called Let's Talk About Sex, where I'm going to go really, really deep into a woman's sexual response cycle, a whole bunch of different things I'm going to be teaching. So I'm really excited about that. So you guys stay tuned, and thank you so much for supporting. All right. Well, I want to get started. All right. I got so much good stuff, so I'm trying to figure out where to start. Well, I think I want to start. Y'all want to start with Derek, or y'all want to start with Target? Where y'all want to go? Derek. All right. All right. Derek Jackson. Okay. Now, Derek Jackson is what they consider a relationship guru. He has over 1 million followers on Instagram. He got like 273,000 followers on YouTube. And my thing is, and he's in the same industry that I'm in, and I don't usually, bring up people's shade, but I want to just say people need to judge people by the fruit that they bear. Okay. And this man has given out a whole bunch of relationship advice. He's, like I said, he got all of these followers. And I was not only sent a video by Tawan, but I was also sent a video by Kiki where this man was married, but he was a perpetual, not just one, not just two, a perpetual cheater. And he just keeps on and kept on cheating on his wife. So much so that his wife began to know when he was cheating, who he was cheating with, and she began to follow these ladies because these ladies start releasing videos of them sleeping with her husband. They began to, so she began to try to save her marriage. So she started trying to emulate these videos that these women were seeing and trying to act like them in the bed, trying to dress like them in the bed. I just was like, this was mind blowing that his wife, you know, was trying to do all of this to save her marriage to a man who was violating their vows, supposed to have been a godly man. She forgave him publicly, you know, all the social medias less than 2 years ago. And now he back out doing what he was doing. So you guys give me what y'all think, because I'm just done. Like, I don't think nobody should be following him with all of them shenanigans. Y'all this, huh?
That's a lot going on. I watched part 1 of her interview, and part 2 is out now with Terrace Whitfield, and it was just interesting. Like, you know, she, according to the interview, she was like the least likely girl to have him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she was considered a geek, very, you know, very reserved, and she still is, I guess, for all intents and purposes, a very shy, kind of behind the scenes kind of girl, or woman, I should say. But she realized that, you know, that he was, she said she could tell when something was wrong. When I say wrong, like he was having sex with somebody just based on the touch, how he touched her. She said she was a rape victim, so she recognized, you know, there was a difference between one touch to another, and how he, you know, interacted with her was one thing. And she said about, you know, she was pregnant. And that was one of the reasons why they got married, because she was about to like bounce. She recognized even while they were together, it took them 10 years to get married.
Wow.
From like, you know, from college to, they were off and on, and, you know, stuff like that. And just his behavior started back then, you know, while they were in college and stuff like that, to like where it got to now. But I'm ready for part 2, but it was just an interesting thing to think.
And you guys know, for me, I stand for marriage, but I don't stand for that. I don't. I would never tell any woman to stay in a situation like that. I just wouldn't. And the other thing is, because to me, that's abusive. Okay, I forgive you once. Okay, you know what I mean? Everybody makes mistakes, but you're doing this, and then on top of it, you're out there trying to give people relationship advice too. Not saying that somebody can't make a mistake and be perfect, because we all are not perfect, but you know what you're doing.
But that's a character issue too, right? Like, so I understand that we all can make mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? Like, we've all made mistakes and stuff like that. But there's a character issue when you are actively in a mistake. You're actively in a mistake that you do it. You know what I'm saying? And then you trying to then, you know, what you're doing is you're trying to manipulate other women to then thinking that you are somebody who you're not. And to me, that's really where the shortcoming comes. But I think in as it pertains to his wife, I think that a lot of times when you consider yourself like a shy girl, or just not having like all the things that you would have, or possess the qualities that you think you would have to get the guy, because, you know, we've all had like, oh, the guy, like that guy who, you know, maybe out of our league, or maybe the bad guy, or like, you know, the good bad guy, like the jock, you know what I'm saying, that person who like we aspire to be with, and we bend over backwards to be with that person. And I had that such person, I think, in my life as well. And I tolerated him after I found out he started cheating. I knew, and I tolerated it until I didn't anymore. Right. Like there was a point, there was a breaking point for me where I was like, you know what? I am too valuable to tolerate this BS in my life. And I just think that because she bagged the guy, and she wasn't like the quintessential person to be with that type of guy, she felt like losing him would be worse than dealing with his infidelities in her life. And so, and we know people like that right now.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
we know
we do.
people, We currently know people who are going through the same thing, and it has everything to do with self-worth and self-esteem that she has, and she's the only person that can then show up and say, I'm more valuable than to deal with this.
Yeah, she also admitted, like, she didn't have a good relationship with her father. Like, he was never really in her life. Almost like she was trying to show for her dad, like, see me, see me, see me. And dad was like more concerned about her siblings than her, stuff like that. So she dealt with that one abandonment issue. And then she got raped, and she never dealt with that issue either. So then you go into a relationship, she said, like maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks after the rape, that's when she started talking to him, and and they would like making these commitment kind of conversations all night long on the phone and stuff like that. And so you're talking about abandonment, not having dealt with a rape and all of that brings to the table, and then going into a relationship where this guy, because he was the jock that seemed cool and all the things, and people were looking at like you said, Kiki, how did she bag, like how'd you get him?
And he know that. He knows that. Yep. He knew that.
Yeah.
And so he felt like he had this God complex, right? Yeah. I'm the shit. So you lucky to be with me. You lucky Correct. To breathe my air. So that means I can treat you how I want to treat you because you ain't gonna go nowhere.
Correct.
Right? You ain't going nowhere. Because I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying?
You was having a whole conversation.
I was saying he was like a walking contradiction, but that's what I was exactly saying. He saw her coming. Because I think we don't realize that when we're in those vulnerable states, people like that can tell that that's where you are. And then, with all of those feelings, it was going to be easy for him to pull her in, because then you think about it. So I have this regular person beside me who's going to tolerate everything that I do. And then I can still go out and do all the things that I want to do. And she's going to be so insecure that she's not going to leave. I'm going to be able to talk her right back out of it. So yeah, it's a whole manipulation thing, but he's like a walking contradiction. But hey, if y'all spend any time out in these TikTok streets, it's a whole bunch of walking contradictions out there. I am absolutely amazed at how many people are just, they're just all mixed up. It's scary.
It is.
I think religion played a big piece in it as well. And for her staying. First of all, this is an example of when you don't heal. What can happen when you don't heal, because people will find that open place and they will take advantage, pull the Band-Aid off the sore and make it for their own benefit. And that's exactly what he did. He knew she was broken. And what he did was he mended her to a place that she needed him.
That's good to watch. He mended her to a place where she needed it.
Because let's be very clear, because she was still treading water, because she had abandonment issues and being raped, so she did not trust people. But he made it comfortable for her,
right?
And when she let her guard down, he started in increments showing who he really was. But because she needed that safety net for whatever part that he was safety for, it was. And unfortunately, what he didn't believe, because he's a true narcissist, I believe, that nobody has the end of a day, and that enough wasn't going to become enough for her. You know what I'm saying? That you was just going to continually break her. And I think when you have a person in your life who is manipulating and using you and taking advantage of your vulnerabilities, and then when you have religion, because I think it was more religion and not necessarily a relationship with God that kept her in captivity in that as well. But I think one of the things that she said that was very powerful, and that's why I sent it to Gail, when she said, I know those women's bodies better than I knew my own. Whew, I was like,
I was done.
That right there is so deep, and it's so many women on so many levels. Some people might not have done what she did, like watching other people, but people have done some other things too. And and we all let's say everybody plays the fool sometimes.
That's right.
No exception to the rule.
Yeah, she said, I know those women's body better than I know my own. That means she was obsessed, watching and trying. that right there was mind blowing to me.
Because the goal was to be accepted by him. Yeah, the goal was to be accepted by him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But whatever it would take to try to save my marriage, you know what I'm saying? So if this is what attracts you, I can become it.
Right.
But the thing is, I don't think she realized in his brokenness, he don't know what attracts him.
Right.
Because he's broke. So he just wants everything. Because if you look at the gamut of the women he's dated or cheated with, they're called, it's a broad spectrum. So I don't even think he has a type. I think it's whoever be willing to deal with him and
open their legs to be able to say that they was with him, because he does have some form and some level of celebrity. But my thing is that, again, how I started off, you need to judge a tree by its fruit. And how is he giving out that type of advice and he ain't even
but think about this. He's giving out advice, and some of the things that he said, because I used to follow him until he said something one day, and I was like, woo, you crazy. And I'm like, people follow him, but you will never know what his fruit is until it becomes exposed. And because he's flown under the radar for so long, because he has been cheating on her forever, but when this one became public.
But remember, because a lot of things he said, because I agree with you, some of the things he said were great. But it was always 99% of the time it was geared towards women. To me, it was a manipulation game all along, because you're saying things that women want to hear. And if you're not careful to read between the lines, because some of the things he said to me were on point, but if you're not in a healed place or a healthy place, you're going to fall into that as opposed to just hearing it. So the more you say it, they thinking he is God's gift. So if you run across him, even though he's married, you're going to excuse all those red flags, because you're going to go back to, but he said this, he said that, he believes in this, and that's going to make it okay for you to get involved with somebody who clearly you already know he's married. So why would you be doing that? But it's it was just a whole game, because he said things that made sense, but I think it was intentional to pull in whoever he needed to so that he could do what he do. It was a whole game. It's unfortunate though, because I just, just to play on people's feelings like that is just makes you sick to me.
It does make me sick. Now I want to lead into this one. I've seen this on TikTok, and I actually reached out to this man because I felt really, really bad for him. He was on TikTok and he said, basically, I've been married for like 19 years. He said, and my youngest daughter was doing a school project, and she had to take a DNA test, because it was about their ancestry, right? Turns out that when she came home crying, and he doesn't reveal the age of the child, but I'm taking maybe middle schoolish. He said she comes back home crying and saying, "Daddy, you're not my daddy." And he's like, "What you talking about?" And so he was like, "What you mean?" And she said, the thing says you're not my dad. So he looks at the thing and he's like, well, maybe something went wrong, because they did it at the school and all this. So he goes and gets a DNA test done just with him and the daughter that's all distraught, because he wants to let her know, I am your daddy. Turns out it comes back, she's not his child. So he goes, because he has 4 children with his wife. He goes and tests the other 2 that's next to her, and then they got a newborn baby. He goes and tests the other 2 children, turn out they ain't his kids either.
Oh no.
He didn't test the baby because the baby was, so when he tests the older 3, and he goes to his wife and he tells his wife, what's up? Because it's just been me and you for the last 19 years. And I got these 4 children and 3 of them ain't tested mine. She like, what you talking about? She pops off at the mouth. Those are your kids. He pulls out the DNA, thing saying, I had all 3 of them tested. The next day, she hangs herself. Yeah, she hung herself.
Jesus.
And he said he didn't get the opportunity to tell her that no matter what, that he was going to always be those children's father, and he didn't never want them to learn anything different, right? But she hung herself, and he said he never got the opportunity to tell her that he loved her and that he forgave her, right? And I reached out to him because that's heavy. That's real heavy, that he walked in that room and she had hung herself. And my thing is that it's just not men cheating, right? This woman evidently doing 19 years and bore 4 children and had a younger child, and he doesn't say how old the children are. He just was saying that, men get dogged out all the time about cheating, and we just talked about one, right? But women do it too. And he said the devastation that she left behind, because he has to not only raise these children, but he can't tell them that he's not their biological father, because he don't. Well, the oldest one evidently knows.
She gonna tell?
Huh?
She gonna tell eventually.
You think so?
No, yeah, absolutely. She's a child.
And I think he should tell. I mean, I don't think right now is the time, but I think he also, because at the end of the day, if something happened to one of these kids and they need or something medically,
it's got to come out. Yeah, it has to come out.
So he should tell it anyway. Yeah. That's the problem. We carry these lies. And I hate to say it, and I mean to come find her hanging, but she hung herself because of a lie, because of lies. Because of
that's just so sad. But see, to me, it's like, okay, you cannot be that selfish. Like you made that you made the bed that you lied in, right? Like, and now you choose to leave your children without you,
right?
Because you made a mistake. Yeah, I mean, it was bad. It was bad, but it ain't worse than you hanging yourself. Now, if you had any life insurance or if you had any of that, now your kids get nothing, right? Because you took your life, and now they're left without a mother or even knowing who a true father is. Right. Like, how selfish can you be?
And my thing is, it's like, now if like you said, but he said, I'm gonna always be these children's father. But the thing is like Tawan said, which is true, if they have some health issues, conditions, or whatever, he don't even have a starting point to go back and say, hey, dude, she told me Pookie was you might be so and so. He don't even have that.
Right.
She really don't know.
Evidently not. Again, it was on TikTok, but it just broke my heart.
Wow.
I go with Kiki though. That is such a selfish act. You were selfish throughout the whole marriage.
Yeah.
Because what you did was selfish. You did what you needed to do for you, and then when you get confronted with what you did, instead of staying here and just trying to even figure out if it could possibly be worked out, because bottom line is he had every right to confront you. He had every right to be mad, and he had every right to say whatever he wanted.
He didn't indicate in his video that he was going to leave her. He was just like, and
she probably assumed that. I'm sure she. I mean, I would think
assume that.
I would
assume that
not one, but 2, but 3, and possibly 4. Oh yeah, I would have thought he was out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like smoking.
Yeah. Like don't pass, go, do not collect money. Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
That saddened me, and I did reach out to him to see if I could support him any kind of way. I haven't heard back from him, but I did reach out to him today just to let you guys know. All right,
I don't even have words for that. That's
all right. Listen, I talked to Kim about this today when I was at her salon, but y'all know, everybody who know me know I go to Walmart pretty much every day, and I had withdrawal when I had my surgery in September, whatever. But I was there today, and yeah, I pretty much go every day. I mean, the people in there know me by my name and everything like that. But Target, okay. Do you guys know? Shut up. One of my clients was talking to me about Target, and we'll get into this. And they're like, "Well, Dr. Gail, what do you think about Target?" I'm like, "I don't care about Target because I go to Walmart." And I know that wasn't, and they look kind of taken aback because I don't talk about. Now Kim is real bougie and Tawan's real bougie.
I am Target all day.
They go to Target.
I live right across the
Target
street
all
from a
day.
Target.
Target
I walk
all
to
day.
Target.
I love Target.
She said she walks to Target. That's
I walk
what
to
I'm
Target.
talking about.
I live right across the street from Target.
Okay, well,
all day.
Well, everybody who's on here, I like Walmart, and y'all can talk about me all you want to. But my son always like, she go over there because she like to see the fights and all that stuff. They don't do that
because they ghetto in Walmart.
Well, one year I was one of the people fighting in Walmart years ago when they used to do those VCRs for $20, and that lady took that VCR out of there. I did made the news.
That's why she like
Walmart. A long
Walmart.
Time ago. That was before I rededicated my life to Christ.
You'll go to hell for lying. Just last week.
My goodness.
But I really do like Walmart. I just like it. I can go in there and stay all day, and then everybody knows me in there. And they told me, to make sure I start stocking up on stuff before COVID hit. They told my friend in there, her name is Gail. She told me, "Girl, start stacking up on you."
What you say about Target? Because we don't want to hear about no Walmart. What you?
Thank you, Melinda. She says a blessing that you ladies truly support one another. Thank you. And so anyway, but do you guys know that this week, Target has lost $9 billion because they launched a whole entire Pride line that's across in Targets across the nation. And it's not because of the support of the LGBTQ plus community. It's because they launched a line and they put baby clothing in the line that says, like you would buy a baby a onesie, future drag queen in the making, and all of those kind of stuff. Close your mouth. And then also on top of it, the person that they had designing it, he's a designer out of London, and he's a known devil Satan worshiper. And so a lot of the stuff, it has demonic things running through it. But people are protesting and staying away from Target not because of the Pride line, it's because the person that they had to create it and the stuff that they put on the little kids line of clothing, which I think is just totally 100% inappropriate for children to be wearing. And so what do you guys thoughts about that?
I'm not protesting Target, but that is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even know why you would even think a baby line was appropriate for that in any respect. Now, I'm going to tell you a funny. I went in Target yesterday, and they got this nice little pink dress. It's a little sheet dress, it's a dress, and then they got this little stuff, foo-foo stuff over top of it.
Sheer dress?
Sheer dress, but it got a little shirt dress under it. And I was going to go get it. And then I went over there. I said, what is this collection over here? Because it does sit separate.
It does.
And it had the big it had the patch on it. I said, no. If I can get that off. I was like, no, I don't want this. And I kind of looked, and I did see kids' clothes. And I was like, but then I went on and got what I needed to get out.
But one of them had a rainbow with a skull and cross. I mean, all this little stuff on it. It's just not appropriate to me for children.
No.
And I just think that they have taken it too far. I just think it's too far. So,
and it's not appropriate to children to us, but it's people out here who are giving them children that kind of choice very young.
Very young.
And I
Well,
think
yeah,
that's a whole nother thing, right?
That's
Like
right.
I think that, y'all know I'm in DEI, right? I deal with diversity, equity, inclusion every day of my life. And I think that a lot of times we still go too far with it, right? Like people go all the way left, all the way right, with DEI trying to figure out what's appropriate. And at the end of the day, we still human beings. Like it's not always appropriate to go all the way left or all the way right, especially when it comes to our children. And I have an issue with giving our babies an opportunity to make decisions at such a young age when they don't even know whether they're coming or going. They don't know when they need a nap, but you know when they need a nap.
Yeah, and that's my thing too. Growing up, I used to want to be a fairy princess. I used to want to play all of these things, but because every day you wake up and if it's on the cartoon, that's what you want to become, or you want to be a firewoman. All of these things, and over in Australia, the very first sex change was performed this year on a 6-year-old, which I just thought was absolutely inappropriate. And the thing is that statistics and they're doing a lot of data for people who have transitioned, even grown people. They say within 10 years, they regret some form of why they transitioned.
I just was talking to Tyra about this today, because a lot of the people, like, I think there's a show on MTV or something about a person who transitioned. They followed her throughout her life while she,
it's a little girl. It's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jazz.
But she's
on
regretting
TLC.
the transition and all the issues and the problems that are coming along with the transition. And I just think that a lot of times, if we just calm down for a second and just wait and give it some time and really think about these lifelong decisions that we're going to make, it seems like everything is so important in the moment, but we don't give ourselves time to kind of be like, all right, I'm about to make a really big decision that's going to absolutely change my life. Let me sit back for another year or two and then see how I feel to see if this is going to be the right decision for me. Right. And I don't think we do that enough. We just rush into it because I can, because you can. And just because you can don't mean you should. And I think that we need to give themselves time.
There is a waiting period. You don't just jump it. Well, there's supposed to be a waiting period.
Right.
For them to
psychological
insurance. It's a money thing, because from my understanding, they get about it for them to make the full transition over with the medications, the therapies, the surgeries, all this. It's $1 million process, right? So it's very money driven. Melinda said character and integrity issues, which is true. But to me, to transition a child at age 6, to me is absolutely.
I don't even think that was like legal. Like,
it's not illegal. It's not legal here, but I just think that when they're saying now that they've been able to study people who have transitioned, a lot of them have some regrets, right? And one lady was talking about that when she transitioned, she said even though they prepare, their children, whatever, she's like, I went from a woman being a mother who breastfed to now a man. She said, but my children, even though they're adults, they understand, they still call me mom. Well, because in their mind, and she said, I have taken hormones. She looked just like a dude. She says, but when they check my DNA and they pull me out the ground and check my DNA, when they check me into the hospital and they got to take my blood, my DNA still comes back and says, I am a female.
Yeah, just like when you think about, go ahead, Twan, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna just say you that's the one part that you never can change. You
never can change that. No.
Any way that you want. And when I was doing drug testing for FAA, we had a man who went from a man to a woman, and then 10 years later he wanted to go back to being a man. And I just happened to ask him, you made the decision, why? And this was almost 10 years ago, and he was like, nobody, you know, I did all the psychological pieces, but there's still more to it than anybody would ever know. And he said, now that I know better, now that I've gone through this, I think I would have been better in the skin I was in of just being a man. But I guess, you know, he had to go be a woman to figure that out. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't. It's easy for us to say you shouldn't because we're not battling with some of the things that they are. But it is a lot to go to when you're talking about changing your sex, because it not only has an impact on you physically, mentally, and emotionally, but it does impact the people in your life. Because I asked you today, Gail, I said, where is Chris Jenner? We ain't seen him. We haven't seen
And I
her.
said,
That's what we were talking about earlier about watching
Bruce.
Caitlyn,
And I said,
you know.
Bruce lost millions of dollars
Yeah.
transitioning into Caitlyn, for the simple fact is they can't show the he used when he was he used to be a commentator for the Olympics, made a lot of money. They can't show no more footage because it ain't matching up. So he can't.
But where he at though? You're right.
He has to be in seclusion. I was telling Gail, I think that was such an emotional, like
he got into the political world.
Yeah, but it was like such an emotional kind of response to
he's running for something.
Yeah, for Chris.
I'm sorry. She's running for something.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Like, I think it was an emotional reaction to like how his marriage was going, or her marriage was going, however you want to call it. That it just like, I want to get back at you because y'all are, you know, it was just, to me, watching that whole process, though it did help me get some understanding about my own person in my family, about like the mindset of why they would, but at the same time, it doesn't answer anything. Like, until you fully dig in deep and all of that other stuff of like the emotional, psychological, and mental issues, that is almost like getting bariatric surgery and you haven't really dealt with yourself.
Well,
it's the same kind of space. Like, you watch the I Am Jazzy, same kind of, I mean, I watch those things because it helps me to get some understanding of what's,
I watched that show too,
of what's going on. And that girl, you see how much weight, at least you've seen how much weight that little girl has put on, the level of anxiety.
But I was gonna say, like, human wise, how many times have we, you know, as younger people, you know, really wanted to do something, be something, whatever it is, and then 10, 20 years later, we regret, you know, that we went in this direction when we majored in this. And so, I mean, things change. I don't know why anyone would think that with that kind of transition that you too can still regret a decision, because it's a decision that you can actually kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't have done that. Right. That's why that's so dangerous, because you spend all this money and you've actually, I think what happens sometimes is they get out there in the world, and because they're trying to fit in somewhere else because they feel left out, you find out that once you do that, then there's a whole nother set of issues because everybody else in the world might not accept it. So now you have to be strong enough to handle
that level of rejection.
I know when I watched the young girl Jazz, that's her struggle. And the later, you know, now we watching it, she's struggling with everybody else not receiving her as Jazzy, she is, and girl. She's having a rough, hard time with it. And you know, it's like
like nervous breakdown kind of, you know.
And it's so bad too, because what all of us have to understand is that, yeah, we're going to go through hard times in life, and what we can't predict or control is how other people see or receive us. And so when you go through something as drastic as that, you have to gain this mental toughness to get you through, because you're gonna get drugged through the mud, right? You're gonna get drugged through the gutter.
She went to Harvard, and it didn't matter that she was at Harvard or was at Harvard somewhere. They didn't care.
People, because people are horrible, right? like people are terrible. There are terrible people in this world. Like, it really is. They're terrible people. And so my heart goes out to, you know, any individual who is, you know, is dealing with, you know, this identity, because I mean, I can't say that would be easy at all, right? Like at all. But it's like, you got to be prepared for people not to love and like you, because that's just how people are. People are going to come out the woodwork, no matter what. I don't care whoever. If you don't got haters, then enough people don't know you. Like that's it's the truth, right? Because all of us got haters.
I think a lot of people like me, but I don't like people not liking me. But I'm okay, but
No,
I'm okay
but
with them.
that's the truth. I mean, I don't think any of us I don't think any of us like people not liking us, but yeah, I think you have to get to a place.
If
where,
y'all read some of them comments on my YouTube channel, they don't. Yeah.
If everybody likes you, somebody's lying. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, I with the $9 billion lost with those onesies I seen, I know y'all. I'm a Walmart person. I could care less if Target lost that because I thought for the children that's 100% inappropriate. Grown people can make their own choice. I just think that's inappropriate.
There's just one more thing. There's a couple. I think she had breast cancer and had like a double mastectomy. Got pregnant. The partner was female, transitioned to male, and they've had a baby, and they're not. The baby was born male, but they're like, I don't know like how they're going to raise him because I think they want to try to give him have him make his own decision, like how he wants to be classified or whatever. My concern is like, how are y'all gonna raise him? Like,
he was born with a penis. He a little boy.
Girl, I know that.
So I wonder though, at what age do you start saying, and how do you frame that? To say I'm gonna start letting you make your own decisions. I mean, I have 5 grandkids. If I think about the youngest 2, they are 8. I'm just gonna take it back to when they were 4 or 5. So what do I want to say? What do I start saying to my kids to give them that choice? Because they don't even understand choice because they're still trying to figure out if they like vanilla milk, strawberry milk.
Right.
So what do I say? Do you want to wear little girl clothes today, or do you want to wear little boy clothes? I mean, I just wonder, where does that mindset go, and how do you even start framing that to start saying you're going to give them that choice? I do believe you can play before you won't.
I have a friend who has a daughter who's in the 2nd grade, 3rd grade. And in that class, they have a child who is identifying as other. And so they're starting to have conversations in the class. And my friends, and so one of the conversations is, you can be anything you want to be. And so
a firewoman and a fireman and a helicopter.
Any gender you want to be. So they had to get really involved in the school to try to figure out like what is this messaging, and because this is not the messaging that we have in our own household. So they've had to really get involved because that's what's going on in their class.
And when you have that situation,
Jackie said that she was young. I mean, like elementary school, right, Lisa? She was little girl when she decided, and they were very, very like 4 or 5 years old, like declaring, "This is who I am." And her parents, I can't know if I've ever gone back that far. If her parents were like trying to fight it, and then they just like said, "Okay, fine, here you go. Here's the dress."
I don't recall them fighting it.
Again, what they have studied is by the time 10 years come, they're facing what that young lady's facing now.
Right.
But anyway, I don't think we're going to resolve that. I just was taken aback by those onesies. Like I said, grown people make grown choices, but I just think that was inappropriate. This is every last one of us is business owners here, and we all have made mistakes in our business, but I don't think none of us ever made these kind of mistakes. I'm a Cowboys fan anyway, but the Commanders do not own the trademark to their name of their team and the merchandise. And they trying to sell the team to, the guy that owns it is trying to sell it to this group for $6 billion, which would be the highest price sale of a team. But they don't even own the name because somebody else owns the name and owns the trademark to it. And the trademarking company, people down in DC said that they could not own the trademark to the Commanders because there's already a pending application filed by a DC man already for the Commanders when they did the competition on different names that they could possibly name when they went from the Redskins, remember that, y'all, to just to the Washington team, and then they went to the Commanders. The guy who submitted his choices, he went and trademarked his choices, so now he owns the name. And so now this group that's trying to buy the buy the team, they can't own the name.
Jesus. They gotta buy him out.
And
he buy him out. I'm just gonna get a new name. We ain't gotta be the Commanders.
That's what I was gonna say.
But y'all, they didn't have 2 names within 2.5 years.
I don't think they care.
Listen, they still
they gonna buy him out. I think they're gonna buy him out. He's gonna be ching ching. Yeah, he on the .com too.
But let me say this. That's what he did it for it to happen. I ain't gonna play your game. At the end of the day, what's gonna cost me the least amount of money? And if the least amount of money is for me to come out there and name them the doo-doo fools, that's what
a team called the Doo-Doo Fools.
Trademark it. I couldn't come up with a name for, but I'm just saying, as a businessman, all of us on here being a business person, if we got faced with that, what would you do? What is going to be the least expensive way and not going to cost me but so much money to get this
change
done?
The name.
If I go to him and he does not want to negotiate,
exactly,
then I have to change the name.
But here's the thing, though. Changing the name is probably going to be way more expensive than it is to pay this man out. Honestly, to change a name
because you have all of this merchandise out there.
Yeah, there's no way. Like that's millions upon millions. No, so listen, they might pay this man $3 million to change the name, but to sell them the name, right? But you know what I'm saying. But to change the name, they're going to lose millions upon millions of dollars. It's already $6 billion on the line. Yeah. Child, they're going to pay that man and they're going to keep it moving. That's what they're going to have to do because that's going to be the least expensive thing. Now, if I was him, I'd be like, all right, I'll pay you the next. I will pay. I'll allow you to pay me for the name, but I also want royalties.
Depending on how smart he is or whatever, I don't know.
He didn't lawyer. He didn't lawyer stuff. You know that.
But it don't take a really smart person to trademark something. So he might not.
But he had the sense to do it, Lisa.
He did, but I'm just saying that when
before the whole team of people,
Dan Snyder, when he changed the name, he didn't even know to get the name. You pick a name and don't trademark it. Like, what's wrong with you?
Maybe he figured somebody in the thing, somebody did it.
It fell through the crack. Somebody got fired for that.
Somebody got really fired.
Somebody lost their job. Somebody's lost their job for that. Okay.
Yeah, and they're not gonna get unemployment.
No, they're not.
Okay, last thing. It's two things I want to talk about. Well, this is really quick. They were saying that nowadays people are using AI to prepare for high-level job interviews. So, and they were talking about the success rate of them using AI to get the questions that they know these high-level jobs are going to ask and learn how to answer them. What do you guys think about that? That's just something real quick.
I gotta go, ladies. I've got another team meeting.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too. What do you guys think?
I mean, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I mean, AI, AI do what AI do. And I mean, it's another tool to help you prepare. It's just like if you were gonna do research. If you were gonna read some books, you gonna Google. We Google everything.
We was getting our job. We had to just go in there and make it happen. Now I just thought, I was like, dang, AI taking over.
I just went on an interview last year, and I Googled a couple of things that I wanted to know and understand a little deeper than what I knew and understood. And when I got in there, doggone, now I didn't know what they were going to ask. but I knew the kind of job I was applying for. And if they didn't start asking me certain questions, and I was on point.
Right, because we just preparing. So AI just allows you to prepare better with answers.
Google on steroids.
Google on steroids for the most part.
Basically.
Google on steroids, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see anything wrong with it, but you better also with AI, you better check some of your facts.
You have to check it. You cannot use AI, Chat GPT, any of that on just the face value, right? Like you have to check behind it. If I ever use Chat GPT or anything like that, I'm always tweaking it. I call it zhuzhing. I'm always zhuzhing. I'm always putting it through Grammarly. I'm always looking to see if it's plagiarized. I'm always checking the facts and stuff like that because you have to. I mean, it's still a computer at the end of the day.
Right. And before we leave, y'all, y'all know Miss Tina Turner went on to glory. And I was thinking about that woman, was a legend. But let me just tell you what I learned from Tina Turner. When her and Ike was, I watched this, of course, I watched the movie. But one thing I did learn about Tina Turner is that she said, I don't want anything, but I want to keep my name. And that was a lesson that I carry with me with anything, right? And when I first got into this business or whatever, I remember my very first webmaster. His name is Keenan Green, and he built my very first website. And it was going to be Glamour at its latest. That was going to be, my thing because I was in the fashion industry.
I'm gonna have to head out. We headed to skating rink, so I will see y'all.
You going skating? Oh Lord, y'all! Lisa skates like roll bounce.
I guess.
Have fun, Lisa. Have fun.
I'll catch y'all later.
But I just wanted to tell Tina Turner, thank you for teaching me to keep my name, right? And she taught me that. And so for everything that I do, I make sure that I protect my name because I didn't realize that now if I was to go by my name, because I didn't think, I was like, my name is Gail Crowder. Who would want my name? Do you know that when I went on GoDaddy, my name, Gail Crowder, is worth $20,000 when I paid 99 cents for it?
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So word to the wise, if you gotta walk away with nothing, at least walk away with your name intact. That's what I want to leave on.
Rest in peace, Tina.
She was bad.
She sure was.
She was. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us on Evening Tea. Thank you, Conchetta. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Latanya. Thank you, Melinda. You guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You, Kiki and Tawan and Lisa and Kim, you guys know I love you guys. I told you I hang around people that's smarter than me. You guys, make sure that you look up these ladies, connect with them. I put the Tea Lovers Cafe in there. You guys, if you're in the DMV area, come out to her tasting. You guys, Kiki is launching her program. You guys, please, I'm telling you, these chicks is bad. Like, they keep me all the way together. And again, I love you guys. And again, thank you for hanging out with me and my girls. I appreciate you so much. And make sure that you guys, Kiki, you guys put y'all's website addresses in here before we get off here so these ladies can have it. Go ahead, put it in the chat.
I don't think we can't do that.
We can't do that.
Yeah. What you mean you can't?
I mean, we can put it in the private chat.
On the comment side. No, we can't.
It won't go on the comment side. Okay, I'm about to put it in the private chat, and you can copy this and put it.
Okay, just do that.
So I just put it in there.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, y'all, I'm putting their websites for y'all to have. Oh, so y'all can follow these ladies. Hold on, let me do this. This is just doing too much.
We don't got admin control.
Never done.
Why y'all don't have it? I don't understand why you don't have it.
Because it's your account.
I don't understand why we don't have it, Kiki.
Okay. Tawan, did you put your stuff in there?
You know it's tloverscafe.com.
I already put yours in there. I already put yours in. Don't get an attitude. Don't act up. Don't make me act up on here.
I mean,
try to be real dignified. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Bye, y'all.